Hey besties, and welcome back to May's Corner. I'm your host May, and today's episode is dedicated to my younger self, specifically my 20s, because let's face it, she was a mess. I would say that my 20s was a series of fortunate and unfortunate events. So today I'm going to be talking about 5 things I wish I could tell my younger self. But before we get into that, you know that I already have to have my sip of the week. And today I'm going to be drinking the same brand that I drank on my last episode, the brand Olipop, because I had this one in my fridge and I didn't have time to be going to the store and getting a new drink because I had just gotten back from LA. So let's try this out. This flavor is Orange Squeeze. She's cute. Let's try it out. That's so good. I guess it's just a healthy version of like Fanta or like the orange soda that we drink. But yeah, I just got back from LA. I went to the Shuffleverse dance convention and I am so tired, honestly. Like I am like mentally, physically exhausted. My social battery is dead. I need like 2 weeks to feel myself again, but I'm so grateful that I went. I was actually a part of like the healthcare athletic training, whatever you want to call it, medical team. So that was really fun. I'm really, really grateful for the opportunity, but your girl is tired. And other than that, there's nothing really like going on in my life right now. So let's get into it. So number 1 that I wish I could tell my younger self, dear 20-year-old me, you do not have to have it figured out. Your job, where you're going to live, your relationship, when you're going to be married, when are you going to have kids. Like, you do not have to have that figured out at 20. I always felt like when I was like 20, that was like it. Like I was like a full-blown adult. And if I wasn't married and had kids yet, like I was failing at life. I'm from a small town, so I think that's just a thing in small towns. Everyone just, like to be honest, where I'm from, everyone just gets married and has kids. And because I wasn't doing that at the time, I felt like I was like behind in life and I was constantly asking myself what's next before I even achieved something. Like I couldn't really just focus like in the moment, and I was always thinking of what's next, especially when it came to my job and where I was going to live. Like I had planned it out and I would go into like this rabbit hole, like, okay, this is where I'm going to work and this is where I'm going to live and I'm going to be living here with this person, blah, 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 blah. And it just felt so like I was in a rush in life and I was never satisfied. So yeah, I wish that I could tell myself that I really don't have to be in a rush. Like I was so unhappy. I couldn't live in the moment and it was just very stressful. So yeah, if I could go back in time, I wish that I could have lived more presently and just be more present with life. I think I just pretty much just said the same thing over and over again. But yeah, I feel like we're just pressured to have it all together at such a young age. Like I graduated high school at 17 and I had to pick a major right away. Like, are you kidding me? I don't even have a frontal lobe yet and you're making me choose what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. Make it make sense. Like I switched my major like 3 times. I went into college thinking I wanted to be a nurse because I'm Filipino and that's just, you know, the expectation of being Filipino. Like if you're Filipino, you have to be a nurse. And yeah, I was like, no, I don't want to do nursing. And then I went into psychology and then I took my Psych 100 class and I didn't like it. And then I found kinesiology and I'm glad that I stuck with that because I'm very happy. But yeah, I just felt like I always just needed to have it all figured out when clearly like I have so much time. I don't need to be figuring it out. So that's number 1. So if you're watching this and you are in your 20s and you feel like you don't have it all together, babes, I still don't have it together. I never will. We're all just human being living in this world, and we're going to make mistakes. And yeah, we don't have to have it figured out. We never will. All right. Number 2, dear 20-year-old me. I have my notes here because I don't want to get off track. Dear 20-year-old me, stop saying yes to everything. Oh my gosh. I used to say yes to everything, to every plan, to going to the beach, go to every rave. Even at work, I would pick up extra shifts, even though I knew that I didn't want to, because I didn't want to disappoint anyone and I wanted more money. I didn't have any boundaries. And yeah, like it's just, I was so unhappy. I didn't really know who I was because I kept just saying yes to everything and everyone. And yeah, this year I put a picture of this girl and on there it says no, and I put it on my vision board. I don't think anyone truly knows how powerful it is to say no to things. Like you build like that self-confidence and self-trust, and you have like a better relationship within yourself because you are able to say no. And what I've learned along the way is that when you say no to people and they get mad at you or they guilt trip you or they just don't make you feel good because you said no, they're truly not the people for you in your life. Because the people who are, you know, going to make you feel bad and stuff, that's just like a reflection on them, not on you. And for the people who can respect your boundaries, those are the ones that you want to keep in your life. They have enough respect for you and they respect your boundaries. Like those are your true friends. And yeah, I feel like you build such a better like relationship with others if you say no and you communicate like what you want to say. Like in the beginning, they respect it. And for me, it took me like a really, really long time to really understand that, because I would always think to myself like, oh my gosh, if I say no to this person is going to hate me. But like I said, if you say no and they respect that, that's a real one for sure. Respectfully, if you are the kind of friend that makes your friend feel bad because they say no to you, goodbye. Stop doing that. Stop making your friends feel bad. Like, let your friends be. Okay? There's like really no point into guilt tripping someone or making someone feel bad. And I know I have some healthcare baddies here, healthcare friends. Stop picking up extra shifts. Life is not all about work. I know that life is expensive and we have student loans to pay and we gotta, make our means, but stop picking up extra shifts. It's just not gonna do you any good. You're literally gonna get so burnt out and you're gonna run yourself to the ground to the point where you're gonna hate what you do, because trust me, I've been there and you don't want to do that to yourself. Okay? I hope I'm making sense so far. I'm just over here blabbering. Oh, guys, I forgot to mention in the beginning of my episode, I'm wearing this beautiful long sleeve shirt. It is from my friend's brand, Cass. Her brand is called Swampy Tings. I'll go ahead and link her Instagram down below in the description box, and hopefully you guys can check it out because I love her and I love this brand so much. It's so cute and it's very soft. So definitely go and check her out. All right. Number 3 is going to be travel. I did not do any traveling when I was young or like when I was in college because obviously no money, but one of my biggest regrets in life is not taking the opportunity to travel when I was in school, because my school had like special programs. We had national student exchange and we also had semester at sea and study abroad. We had all of these opportunities, but I was just so scared to leave my state to travel somewhere else. And I could have been paying in-state tuition studying at another college like here in the mainland, or going to another country, or semester at sea. Like those were just like opportunities that were presented to me and I didn't take it. And now that I'm older, I always think about how I could have made it work. Because I was spending my money on other things. Like, why couldn't I just like budget and travel more? But now I'm making it up, and I'm traveling a little bit more now as I have more money as an adult. But yeah, if there's just one thing that I wish I could have done sooner in life, it's traveling for sure. But that's okay. You know, we're here now. We're traveling. So yeah, travel more, experience new things, experience new cultures. It really does open up your eye as to what's really out there in the world. And you learn so much about other places and also like about yourself. As I mentioned before, if you travel, it makes you like not grow up in a sense, but it makes you more adaptable, I guess is what I'm trying to say, if that makes sense. But yeah, very grateful for the experience that I have been experiencing lately because I have been traveling more. But yeah, let's get into number 4. Oh, this one it's deep and it's going to hurt. Number 4, you will lose friends over the years and your circle will start to get smaller and it will change. And that is totally okay. There comes a point in life where you're going to outgrow certain groups of friends, or certain friends are going to outgrow you, and that's totally okay. I feel like in our 20s, we spend so much time like trying to salvage relationships and friendships because we've been friends for so long. But to be honest, like some people, they just, they're in different paths or they're picking different like journeys in life, and we're just like not on the same wavelength, and friendships just don't, not saying it doesn't work out, but you lose touch. But I think back then I tried so hard to just keep certain friendships because like we were friends for so long, but life happens and, we just have to move on. And maybe someday those friends that you lose along the way in your 20s, you guys we can rekindle our friendship because we're finally at the same wavelength. And if not, that's totally okay. The only like constant in our life is change. Everything is always changing. We're always evolving, because if we're not, then life would just be so boring. So yeah, just accepting the fact that you will lose friends, and that's totally okay. You just have to love people from afar and you have to wish them well. Number 5. Ooh, this one is a juicy one. Oh my gosh. Number 5. Dear 20-year-old me, stop ignoring the red flags. Oh my gosh. And this can be with anything, okay? It can be with a certain job, a certain relationship, friendships. Yeah, this is something I'm still working on because obviously I'm not perfect. But once you have like a gut feeling or intuition that a certain situation or relationship or job is not good for you, girl, you better run. You better run. Red flag, run. Skirt, cut the cord, get out of there. Because the longer you stay in, the more toxic it's gonna get, if I'm being honest. Like, I have worked at certain jobs where I have seen the red flags from the get-go, but I had this mindset like, oh yeah, I'm just new, or like I need them to really like me, so I'm just gonna keep doing this, or I like really, really need the money. No, that really shot me to the ground because I would just keep working and not be happy. And yeah, like, just don't do it. Even in relationships, if you see a red flag, like, just leave. Save yourself the time and their energy and just leave. And certain people too, like if you are surrounded by people, like I call them energy vampires, and they just suck the soul out of you. just get out of there. Not worth it. Not worth the time. Life is short. Life is too short to be wasting our time on things that don't make us feel good, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Well, that's the 5 things that I wish I could tell my younger self. I could go on and on and on. And maybe one day another episode about this topic will come up. But yeah, those are the 5 things that I wish that I could tell my younger self. Do I regret any of the things that I've done in my 20s? Probably yes. But I try not to live in the past. I try to, move forward, which is really hard sometimes. But if a lot of the things that happened to me in my 20s didn't happen, I wouldn't be who I am today. Like, I think I'm such a strong person because of the things that happened to me in my 20s. Like, yes, it hurt and a lot of things were very painful and hard to get through, but that's what makes you who you are. If when you get through the hard shit, that's how you find out who you truly are and find out what your like weaknesses and strengths are, and it's just going to continue to just guide you through life. And yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the things I wish I could tell my younger self. I really hope that some of this resonated with you. And yeah, we're just going to be thriving in our 30s. When they say like the 30s is the new 20s, like you're really going to love your 30s. Like, it's true. It's like being in your 30s is like you have your shit together. You're making a little bit more money than you did before, and you're just enjoying life, and your decision making is getting a little bit better. I'm hoping that my frontal lobe is finally developed, but not saying that we have to grow up so fast, but yeah, it's been fun. I've been 30 for 6 months now, so yeah, I can't really explain it, but once you hit 30, you'll know what I'm talking about. Because I used to think, like, when people would say that to me, I'd be like, oh my God, shut up already. Like, it's just like another age. But it's true. It's very magical, very fun, very playful. And I can't wait for more experiences in this lifetime. And as you guys already know, before I close out this episode, I need to talk about my wins for the week. So let's get into that. My first win of the week is that I rented a car in another state and I actually drove it. The last time I rented a car, I actually made my friend drive it in LA because I am not driving. I don't want to drive. But yeah, I rented a car and I drove. I did run like 2 stoplights. Sorry to my friends who were in the car with me. Yikes. And I missed a couple turns, but that's that self-confidence. That's that self-trust that I'm talking about. I always used to tell people, like, I could never like drive in another state. I could never do this. I could never do that. But then you go ahead and do it and you feel so good about yourself. It's like an amazing feeling. So do the things you want. You once were scared of. You'd be surprised on how good it really feels and how proud you're going to feel about yourself when you achieve all the things that you said you couldn't do. Second win of the week is that I was a part of the medical health care team at the Shuffleverse, and I was able to use my manual skills. I did some massages on some people, taping, education, things that I used to do in the outpatient world because now I work in home health, and that's it was so fun. I never thought I would say that I would have so much fun doing all those things. But yeah, I love that I was able to use those skills and help people dance safely throughout the weekend. My third win of the week was that I caught myself being very present in the moment when I was driving around where I work. I work in home health, so I drive a lot for my job. And yeah, I was just very present when I was driving around, kind of in this tree tunnel. And it was just a very, I would want to say magical feeling. I have a really hard time being present. If you know me personally, this is something that I've struggled with throughout my life. And in that moment, I just really connected with nature and within myself. I felt very grounded, and I can finally say like all the things that I've been working on like personally is working. And yeah, I'm just very, very happy with where I'm at right now in life. And yeah, I guess sorry, I kind of just had a moment right there where I felt very like good and safe. So I'm smiling if you're watching the video version of this. Feeling very present in this present moment right now, which is a beautiful thing because that's where we should always be. Anyways, that is all I have for today's episode. I'm so excited to launch this episode, and I hope some of the things that I talked about in this episode resonated with you guys. And I'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace. Bye.